Good morning, my homebound friends. Happy Casual Friday. This is Mr. D with episode 7 of Career and College Planning. As promised in our last episode, which discussed post-secondary job opportunities that required little or no college preparation, I stated that in our next episode, I would begin discussing military options for both current high school students, former high school graduates, students in college, or who have just recently graduated from college. There are several different options, and over the next few days we'll discuss those options and what they are. There are currently 5 branches of service that you can join. They are the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and Coast Guard. Recently, President Trump announced the creation of the 6th branch of the military that they are calling the Space Force, but there are not a lot of details about that as of yet, and they're not listed in the areas of where you can go in for enlistment as of right now. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. There are basically 3 ways to enter into military service. A full-time enlistment, meaning you are a full-time active duty enlistee. You can enter any of the branches of service under full-time status. And usually in the initial enlistment, the time commitment is 4 years, meaning upon entering you have signed a 4-year contract to become a part of the military, and you must live by and follow all rules and policies established, including where you are assigned or stationed, the jobs that you get to work, what shift or hours you work, and when you can take your what civilians call vacation, excuse me, or what they call leave in the military, which is up to 30 days per calendar year, but only granted with permission from your commanding officer. Full-time enlistees enter into the status of enlisted, or what is referred to as non-commissioned officers, or the non-commissioned ranks, which can be entered into directly right out of high school without any college or training, or as a commissioned officer, usually achieved after graduating from college with a 4-year degree. The 2 biggest differences are the pay structures that are available to you on whether you go in as enlisted versus an officer, and how high you can work your way up into the leadership system. One of the great things about the military is that their goal is for everyone to work their way into becoming leaders, or what we refer to in the civilian world as managers or directors. The second way to enter the military is through what is called the reserves, which in essence means that you enter on a part-time basis, and you can enter and you can either keep going to college or remain in your civilian jobs, and then 1 weekend a month, usually a Friday through a Sunday evening, you travel to your unit or where they are based, and you become a full-time military active duty worker for the weekend. And then there is also a 2-week commitment in the summer where you go to your unit's base, or sometimes to a different area where your unit's going to be, which could be anywhere in the country or around the world, and you serve 2 full weeks in active duty status. The great thing about this is when you are serving, you are entitled to the benefits, which fall under, now what they call the post 9/11 GI Bill. This means you get benefits such as college tuition, either full or partial, depending on how much your school costs and your enlistment time. But you are also entitled to medical benefits while you're on duty, and you are also gaining what is referred to as service credit towards a potential retirement if you remain in for, say, a 20-year period of time. On the downside, even though you are part-time, you still belong to the military. And in times of war, or now, like in times of the COVID-19 epidemic, you can be subject to being called into active duty on a full-time status, usually only for up to 1 year. Of course, you get full pay and all of the benefits that come with active duty enlistment, but you leave your college or your civilian job behind for up to a year to serve. But on the positive side, being called up to active duty status, you earn more credits towards a potential retirement. And under the law, the job that you obtain or the college and your status, they have to put you back into place when your service time is up. The third way to enter into the military service is through what is called the National Guard or the Air National Guard. This is similar to entering into the reserves, but the biggest difference is that even though you can be called into active duty in the full-time military just as the reserves, the Guard units actually fall under the direction of the governor of your state, and you can be called into active duty status by them as well. Presently, several governors have activated their Guard units, deploying them into service to help with the pandemic. But in times of natural disasters, governors can also deploy units to help with crowd control, protection of property, or with cleanup efforts or rebuilding efforts after like a tornado or a hurricane. Again, traditionally, you serve 1 weekend a month and then 2 weeks in the summer unless called into active duty, and again, usually only for up to 1 year, and usually only 1 full year of called back full-time service in a period of 5 years. So in other words, if you get called into active duty for a year, they're not supposed to be able to do that for another 5 years. However, in times of war or major disasters, all bets are off. Again, you're entitled to the medical benefits and to the GI Bill education benefits. In our next episode, I will discuss how the pay structures are set up, as well as those as what those pay structures are. And in the next couple of episodes, we'll discuss how career and training choices can be obtained or earned. In closing for today, I just wanted to lay the groundwork about some of the options there are in serving your country and state. And in future episodes, we'll discuss how an opportunity like serving in the military might be a viable option as you graduate and leave high school and or college. Once again, remember to keep exercising, stay active in a positive way on social media, take advantage of the quality time that you have with your family and loved ones right now, as most of us still in our stay-at-home order status. And also remember, you're not going through this alone. Remember, where we go one, we go all. This is Mr. D, once again, from Casual Happy Friday, stating, until next time.